OMG, do we have a brand new update for you. In TekMatix, we now have a brand new tasks manager that completely replaces Trello and ClickUp for Kanban boards, for advanced project management, for repeating tasks, and more. If you're using Trello boards to manage your tasks, if you're using ClickUp to manage your tasks, you can get rid of those subscriptions right now, because in TekMatix, we now have a brand new tasks manager. The new icon is this little list with check marks. It will be moved up. It's going to replace this old tasks manager that you have got used to. So this here with the checklist on the side will now take you into the option to manage a whole range of what you would know as boards if you're using ClickUp or Trello, and even individual projects for full-blown Kanban style board project management. So I'm going to show you a demo here where projects basically means boards. Think of projects like you would on a Trello board or a ClickUp board. We're going to press add a project, and I'm going to create one first of all for my everyday business tasks. So this is where I'm storing my everyday operational repeating daily tasks, weekly tasks, monthly tasks, and so on. We can then go and create new boards, new projects for special projects we might have for clients or internal projects like a rebrand, for instance. So I'm going to call this sarahcordner.com daily tasks. Daily tasks. All right, I'm just going to call that. This is the board for all repeating tasks. Oh, and the kids are visiting. Don't make videos when you got kids home from school sick. Right, so give it the name that you want that board to be, a little bit of task description on there, and we're going to simply press next. From here, this is where you can now add all of the staff who are connected to your business. And you do that by going into settings and clicking on My Staff. And this is where you can add any team members, virtual assistants, contractors, or anything you have working on your everyday tasks in your business. So I'm just going to check my teammates here, press next. You can add a tag to the tasks in this project. So for instance, if this was like the rebranding project, for example, then I might add a tag to this project called rebranding. However, because I'm making a board that is for all of my everyday tasks of my business, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to press finish. And now it's going to create the board, which is what you see right here. Now, as I said before, we can go in and add multiple projects to here. So if I was doing a special project for McDonald's, for instance, I can go in and add a special board that is just for that particular project. Now, just to let you know, on the little three dots over here, you have different options to add individuals to this board. You can even clone it, or you can just click on the board title itself. And this is where you can go in now and start creating your columns. So like you would on a board like this or this is where you basically now can go in and add columns into it. So column number 1 might be, for instance, tasks awaiting instructions. So this is just stuff that needs to get done that I haven't written any proper notes or allocated or issued for. So these usually, obviously pick the color that you want it to be. You can go and change those colors anytime. That could just be any task. I brain dump things down there where I think of an idea and then I'm like, yeah, I'll add the task and then I'll come back to writing the instructions later. And then you just simply keep adding columns. So this one here might be one-off tasks. This is how I like to manage mine. I know, pick a color. I'm not going to be too fussy about the colors right now. Add another column. This might be daily tasks. Daily tasks. Pick a color, save. And another one. This might be weekly tasks. And yep, pick a color again. What should we pick? Oh, something orange. Right. And monthly. Oops, can't spell today. Monthly tasks. Okay, let's choose a color, save, and we just keep going on. So 6 monthly tasks. Okay, and what color haven't we used yet? I don't know. Save. Next one might be annual tasks. And okay, let's just make that a different color. And then finally, we might have another one. I need to move it along a little bit. Over here, and this one might be, for instance, complete, and we can just close that off. All right, save. Now, if I move this over out the way, we get more room. So now we've got our columns all in place. The next thing we're going to want to do is now start adding our tasks in, because one of the things you're going to absolutely love about this is the fact that if we were to go and add a one-off task, I don't know, let's say I've got a one-off task. I need to approve the new banners, the new pull-up banners. You type the task in. You can add in steps here, or you can just press enter or save, sorry. And now we've got a task there. So if I click on this task, we've got a number of different things that we can do. First of all, if you press the pencil, this is going to give you lots more options. We can add files. We can add a priority. So this might be a medium priority, a time that it's that we reckon it will take to complete. So this particular task might take me, I don't know, 10 minutes roughly. Add estimate. We can schedule this. So if it is one of our repeating tasks over here, let's pretend this was in our daily tasks, we could set that to daily and then set the time that that task is going to take place. Now, please take note, the default time that will show here is the default time in your settings. So if you go down to your settings, go to My Business, wherever your country location is will be the default location that shows right here. You can also add in tags. If this tag is about something in particular, a tag is simply just a way of labeling things, okay? So you might have tags that are based on priority or urgency. You might have tags that are based on client or project names. You might have tags that are based on the category of that work within your business. For instance, it might be a sales category, a marketing category, social media category, lead generation category, administration category, I don't know, in-person events category. I'm just making stuff up, right? You get the point. These tags basically will visually give you a way to separate tasks out. And you can even then in your filter views over here, later on, you can filter everything by just your sales tasks. So for instance, if you're doing a sales day and you're just focusing on sales stuff, you can filter out all tasks that relate to that. But I'm just going to keep going through here. Clients, this is when you can assign this task to a particular client. So you would click on clients, and on select client in the search bar, go and find that particular client. I don't know if this is going to come up on this account because I'm just on a muck around section. But that's where you would find your client and you can allocate that task to a client. Now, what that will do is inside your contacts, this task will actually also show up inside that contacts record as well. So it connects everything together in your whole system, which is fantastic. Columns here, that just takes you back to being able to change the colors on that column or the column that this particular task fits into. So if you wanted to move this task to another column, click on columns and I could go and move it to daily tasks if this is something that needs to be done daily. Now, later on, we can actually create templates. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second by saving templates up here. For instance, if I had like a checklist of tasks on here, we might want to reuse that template over and over again. So I'm going to press submit on this or save for now. And from there, we can then go in and do lots of other things. So we can now, for instance, go in, if I press this little pencil again, well, it's already open, we can go in and add our task details. Again, this is the important part, choosing now who this is assigned to. So let's say if that task is being assigned to Febby, it's got to be done on this particular day. It's got to be done by no later than that day. This is where we can now go in, we can add tables, we can add sort of structured lists where we could sort of say step 1, please do XXX, step 2, please do YYY, step 3, is going to be, you know, ZZZ. You get the point. You can also add in links to videos and things in here as well. So if I was going to do an instruction video or I've got a Google Doc that I want to send people to, we can pop these links in and hyperlink stuff as well. I've just pressed save on that. Now we can add subtasks. So for instance here, maybe the next task that needs to be done is order the new banners. Okay, once they've been approved, I need to go and order them. All right, so I can go and put in all of my different instructions in here. Here are all the sizings, here are the things we need, blah, 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 press submit. And you'll see there that the subtask has now been created. So now we've got a subtask in here. Now that subtask I can now edit on its own and assign the subtask to someone else, right? Maybe Joan's got to go and do that particular subtask, and she's got to, I don't know, maybe that's a high priority, for instance. Press submit. This is going to, every time you press submit, it basically saves whatever you've just done on that particular part. This might be assigned to a different client. Again, you can do that. You can put all of your dates and times, but that's the time that it's estimated to complete, for instance. But you can see here how now I can keep going and adding all of these different subtasks. And each of these, by the way, can then be checked off on their own. So if Joan came along and did that, she can actually check her bit off, but the whole task, if the rest of it isn't completed, still stays in that list. So we can see who's done what parts or what parts of the job haven't been done. There's a few other things we can do. You can see here, we can add files here. So you can drop or paste files inside here, which is good if you've got procedures for people to follow, or documents, files, images, whatever you might have in there. You can also add comments, and this, just like Trello and everything does, you can actually tag people in this as well. So this will allow me to tag Febby, so you have to press the mention here. So I can mention Febby, please can you do XYZ? Okay, send. That's now going to send Febby a notification. All those comments and records will show there with the date and time that took place, and that person will get notified. Now, the other thing you can do here is start logging time and timing yourself. So we can go over here, log time, and actually manually just say this took us 2 hours to do, and they can put a note in. So this is brilliant if you've got virtual assistants or staff working for you and starting to get a really good idea of how long these tasks are actually taking. The other thing your staff can do, or you can do yourself to see how much time you're taking on different things, is to press start timer. And now it's timing how much time I'm spending on this task. So that will just disappear in the background as I'm carrying on with what I'm doing. When I finished it, I'm going to press stop. And then it's going to say, here was the project, here's the task I was working on, here's the number of hours I spent on it, here's what I was doing, log time. And that will also show up in this time log section here. We just need to give that a minute and refresh it, and it will show here. That's going to give you an idea again as to how much time was actually spent on this particular template. Now, the other thing we can do is we can create what's called forms to make these kind of checklists as well. That happens behind the scenes. But let's pretend with these subtasks, this could be, for instance, one of my tasks that I do. I'm going to create a new task for this, actually. Let's pretend I have a task that is daily to publish my social media content. Okay, so publish a social media video. And I'm just going to press save for now. And now I'm going to go and edit it. So let's click on this task, press the pencil. This is going to allow us to add all of our subtasks. So a subtask might be post on Facebook. Another subtask might be, is it going to let me press save each time? All right. It's another subtask, post on LinkedIn. This might be another subtask, submit. And then we might have post on TikTok. Okay, so submit. So I could go through and add all of my different social media channels on here and save this as a template. Okay, so this task has now been saved as a template called publish a social media video. So I could even create another column, actually. Let's go over and create another column. Where do I do that? Let's add a column and call this our templates column. Save. Move this one. Can we move it? I don't know if we can yet, can we? Not sure, but I'm going to move this to my template section. Just so that it's over in templates. But let's say I've got a daily task today and I want to create one from a template. Let's select our template, which was it's probably not updated yet, so social media. Let me just refresh. So I just had to do a refresh, and now you see it's shown up there now. I just had to refresh my screen. So create from template. And now we've got the template right there. So how good is this? This will now show if we had the drop. Did it not save my subtasks? I just realized I didn't press save on it. That's why. So make sure you press save, or it's only going to save the main one and not all of it if you don't press save. So, but there we go. We were able to duplicate basically a template there that's saved all the basic settings or task elements inside the task there. So one of the things I really like about this is if this was a repeating task, if we click on this little pencil here, this repeating schedule for me is a game changer, because you don't have this on Trello unless you're paying for the power-ups. So this is so good that I can just set this to daily. I can set a time like every day at 9 a.m. for instance. Then this particular person will have to go and do this particular task. So again, I can go over to the task details and assign that to, for instance, Febby, and press submit, and that's going to update my task right there. And boom, we now have a daily task when it's the next due date is. So we set the due date, or I forgot to set it. So today, for instance, I'm going to set it for tomorrow is when it's due. And that will now send a reminder. So it says there now it's due tomorrow by Febby. It's due for tomorrow. Febby will come in. She will do the task. And then basically it will repeat again tomorrow. You can even go in and just get them to manually change the date as well to the next day if you wanted to. So this will now create this whole entire board of tasks. Now, of course, you can create unlimited boards by going back to your main task manager here, pressing add a project. Up here, you have procedures. So this is where you can press add a procedure. What do you want the procedure to be? So this might be, I don't know, the social media posting procedure. You can choose dates if you want to. You can choose a particular trigger. If a tag is something that triggers this task, choose the particular project that it belongs to and create. Now, I haven't put any tags in any of my examples here, so it's not going to pop up. But basically, this can fire off procedures that people then need to follow that all attach into the task, which is very cool. You've got your template section here. So you see here, we made that, we've got the duplicate button if you want to. We had all of our templates here. If I wanted to create a task from that particular template, I can do that from here as well. As inside the project area. The other thing I want to just bring your attention to, if I go back into this particular project, you have the card view, which is the typical Kanban board style. You also have list view, and you can actually filter this by the task name, by who's responsible, by the particular client that it belongs to, and you can even go back and look through your archives. My preferred way is actually to filter it by the date that the task is due. So for me, if it's any tasks that are due today, press apply. That's going to show you tasks that are due immediately, and tasks that I need to work on, I like to set it to myself, mine, and today, and I'm only going to see the things that are for me. The other thing you can do is look at previous date periods. You can go back into certain date ranges. Now, requests, I'm going to do a separate video on what requests are, but this is where you can submit task requests to your team. You also have a tasks dashboard. So this will show you all of the tasks that are late, ones that are in progress, started, due to expire, who the different users are, who have got different tasks. So this is also going to show you how many people have got how much amount of work, the time that people are spending on all of their different tasks. This will all show up on your dashboard here as well. So this is really cool if you've got staff working with or for you. You can upload all of your files right here. You can also view notifications in here as well. Now, I've got enable email notifications turned on. This ensures that your team and yourself, whoever has been allocated a task, is receiving email notifications not only when they get the task, but when the task is due to expire. You've got your read and your unread notifications that show up right here, and you can choose to mark them as read or not. And then inside your settings, this is then when you can start doing even more cool stuff. The first thing is you can start adding categories. Now, I like to do categories. This could be, for instance, urgency type categories, or it could even be department, for instance, marketing. So I might set a category or a subcategory for this. So this might be content marketing. or social media marketing, for instance, okay? I might have social media content. And this is going to start categorizing all of your different tasks that you have, and you can start filtering your work or batching your work based on the category of the project that you have. The next thing you have here is automations inside your settings. You can create automations. So, for instance, what happens if a new task is added, for instance? So, new task is added. What's the task name? What are the filters? You want to give it to a certain person, okay? And you're going to give that task to, if the assignee is Febby. So for instance, if a new task is added and the assignee is Febby, then give this tag, for instance, or assign it to this particular contact or this particular user inside my system. There's all these different automations that you can start running based on what things you want to happen behind the scenes. Then you have something called task forms. Now we're going to do a different video on this, but forms are a bit like creating templates, in that if I wanted to create a checklist, for instance, here, and add multiple options to my checklist. For instance, there was a standard set of tasks or procedures that had to be followed for a particular part of a job. Then this might work really, really well for you to be able to start automating again, because it's a form over in workflows. Whatever information is filled in these forms can then trigger off other workflows, other automations, other assigned tasks in the system as well. You can get really, really fancy and complex with this as you like. But that is a basic, very fast overview. There are more updates coming to this, but as you can see, with this functionality already, it has already way more features and functions than Trello. It definitely aligns with the features and functions that ClickUp has. Those are more expenses that you can now drop. And I just want to show you one other way that I really like using these Kanban style boards, just to finish this session up, is you can also use this for creating courses and books. So I like to use Kanban boards for brainstorming the content for my courses. So this might be, I don't know, maybe I'm doing an online course. This might be my online course, and it's going to be, I don't know, a candle making course, okay? Candle making course outline, press next. And again, this would just be, for instance, me. I can't assign myself to this, so I'm just going to add Febby to this right now, press finish. I can add a tag, which would be online courses. I'm going to click on this particular board and we can start adding our columns. So this one might be introduction to the course, introduction, and then we're going to have module 1. Okay, even my cat's getting involved now. My house is manic today. Module 2, save. Module 3. Okay, and what I basically do with all of my my courses is we then can simply go, okay, I'm going to add a task. Module 1 might be something like what wax to buy. That might be lesson 1. So I'm just going to press save. And then I might do add another task. Something else about candles might be, I could even ChatGPT this, right? This is one of the things that I do. Let's go to ChatGPT. We could go, I have a 3 module candle making course. Please provide lesson title, tips, ideas in the format of questions. Okay, why do we name a course lessons with questions? Because it shows people what they're going to get. So what are the basics? So we're going to grab all of these, go over to our TekMatix Kanban board and press save. And we're now going to start getting all of these lesson titles. Okay, so I'm just going to grab, a couple of these lessons for the sake of example. Normally, I just dump them all into one column to begin with. It's just easier to pull them all over. But now, once I've done that with all of them, you can see now that I can move these around. So as I'm getting all of my tips and ideas, as they're all coming over, I'm going to be able to just start adding in save all of my lessons. And as I'm sort of moving these around, I can now create my course outline just like this. What I do then, once I've filmed them, is I come into this video and you could even go to this little edit button. I like to add labels or add tags. This, for instance, might be filmed. Press enter, add a filmed tag and mark it as green and press add. So now when I press submit, task updated. When I go back to my board, it should say, oh, did I just move that one? Did that not save? I'm not sure which one I just clicked on. I wasn't paying attention. Or maybe I didn't save filmed. Green, add. All right. One of the things I do is move far too fast. I just had to pause again because the kid just fell off the couch. But anyway, you get the point here of what we're doing is that you can use this not only for to-do lists, for managing projects, for managing individual client projects. You can also run this as ongoing operational tasks, but also for planning out your products, your services, and using this as a beautiful brainstorming and ideas generation board type method as well. And even the cat's getting involved. So even the cat thinks it's amazing. This is a brand new feature released here now in October 2023. This is so cool. You have unlimited boards that you can create. So go ditch your Trello board subscription. Go ditch your ClickUp subscription. This is now helping you run all of your business truly in one place. So you're going to be looking for this particular icon here with the list on it. We will keep this old one up with the dot check for a little bit longer. For those of you who need some time to transfer your tasks out of here into the new tasks manager, which is the list style here. So do make sure that you, if you do have any tasks in the task manager there, you go down to the new one and start migrating them over before we get rid of that. But have fun, enjoy the playing. If you want any of the TekXperts to help you demo this, you can go to the TekMatix website, click on support, and you can book yourself a 15-minute call with one of our TekXperts who will be able to help you out. Happy teching!